Welcome back to the Morning Brew for Tuesday morning. I'm Larry Aarons along with Aaron Muffaletto, and we're live in Albuquerque today. In a couple of minutes, we're going to have our fun ambassador from the city of Albuquerque, Tierna, join us and fill you in on a great event going on at the Albuquerque Museum of Art. But right now, it is time once again to check your local IQ. All right, Aaron, it's food day.
It is food day, and we have a great guest today. We have Cherie from Farm and Table. Cherie, thank you for being here. This is great.
Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
And, you know, you started this Farm and Table philosophy, which is the first of its kind in New Mexico. Can you tell us a little bit about what motivated you to start this?
Well, the motivation was actually, I was inspired by my father and actually my grandmother. The actual property that we have the restaurant on is 12 acres, and 10 acres of that is all farm. And I really wanted to make that connection between agriculture and food, because New Mexico, as everybody knows, has 360 days of sunshine every year, and there's a lot of people growing food. So I really wanted to make that connection.
And the farm is right in the backyard of the restaurant, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, there's the produce farm is about 2 acres, and the remaining acreage is grass and alfalfa that my father grows, and he also raises cattle out there as well.
Okay.
Justin De La Rosa, food contributor for Local IQ magazine, is here.
Sure.
You just stayed at Farm and Table.
Yeah. Friday night I got to return to Farm and Table, and just kind of sample the new menu, because last time I was there was in the fall. So obviously, part of the philosophy is having the freshest ingredients, and so now we just have a different seasonal selection that's available. So I got to eat there, and I got to say I was just as impressed as the first time. So
you were telling us, Cherie, prior to coming on this segment, that for the chef, your chef Jay, she has both a challenge and an opportunity, because the ingredients change day to day, don't they?
They really do. And so it's seasonal. When I was getting ready to open up the restaurant, I charted out how many times is this menu going to change, and I was thinking 5 times seemed like the magic number to me because of the way the seasons change in New Mexico. But as it turns out, it changes quite a bit more. And when we're dealing with extreme heat, or even lots of wind and extended cold, it really changes up the growing season. And so what we do is that we're always ready to just change that menu whenever the opportunity arises. So, if we have an early freeze, tomatoes are gone, boom, hey, that might change a few menu items. Same thing with leafy greens. They're pretty delicate.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when we have heat with wind, we get frying on the top of the greens. So there's so many things to think about, and there's so many seasonal changes here. So yes, it could be either, like I said, a chef's nightmare or the greatest challenge ever. Yes.
And the food is not only from your farm, but you use places from all over the state, right?
Absolutely, from the Colorado border all the way down to the southern part of the state. Our lamb is local, the beef is all raised around here. Our pork comes from nearby. Of course, all the vegetables and fruit and pecans and pistachios and honey, and the list goes on and on.
Wow.
So instead of having 1 or 2 purveyors, like a food service, you have 40 or 50.
That's right.
How do you keep track of all that?
You know what? It's a big list, and it's ever changing. And so we have 3 people that we all work on ordering together. And, and it's exciting because now it's spring, so things are changing. And so now we have rhubarb and asparagus and snow peas. And I never realized I'd get this excited about new vegetables, but it really does a lot for our menu, and it gives us that opportunity to educate our diners as well.
Sure.
And, you know, when we have a new item, we don't just serve it. We say, hey, we just harvested this, you know, and
Okay.
this is really cool, and it's now on your plate.
That's a great concept.
And the staff is so well educated on everything, and they're so enthusiastic about what they do too.
Right.
Yeah.
We ate there about 2 weeks ago, and it was just great. I loved it. So.
Yeah, and you know, one of my favorite things was our server Joe. You know, he had the perfect wine for everything we were ordering. You know, like no matter what, you know, he brought out 2 different glasses for us, and each one paired perfectly with the different entrees that we had with the different specials. And you know, that's just so important, because a lot of times you go to a restaurant and you can ask somebody for a wine suggestion, and they'll give you their best shot, and they'll give you a red or a white, but not too much past that. So I think, you know, you guys have a great staff there.
I think you're really, you really hit on something there. Our wine menu looks a little bit different from a lot of other restaurants in town too, because the person that put our wine together, Amy Haas, she was kind of given the liberty to kind of showcase who we are and kind of our diversity with food, and go ahead and do it with wine. Like, you know, it's not a safe list. I mean, our list, we have things kind of from all over. And it's very diverse and sometimes edgy and really fun and really thought out. And we actually do wine dinners every month, because it's really fun for people to just kind of taste and explore and have fun with wine or beer. We've done a couple beer dinners. We're going to do another one with La Cumbre. They just partnered with New Belgium Brewery, and so they want to have another beer dinner. So it's really fun to kind of showcase food and beer and wine together.
Well, we're TV, so we have pictures of food.
Oh, awesome.
Let's take a look, and Justin, I think you know what's being dished up here.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here.
Absolutely.
What is this?
This is the bone marrow appetizer that I.
Oh yeah, I can see that there.
Yep, and that was maybe one of my favorite parts of the night. Bone marrow is just like, you don't get that around town anywhere, and so, you know, when I heard that Farm and Table had the bone marrow, I had to get over there and try it. And you guys pickle your own
Yes.
onions?
We do.
Okay. And those are served with toasted tips, and I believe, was that
pretty
a
good.
sea salt as well?
Yeah,
A little pinch of sea
sea
salt?
salt.
And I mean, when you just put all of those together with the, you know, the
little
pickled
cilantro on
onions,
top.
a little bit of bone marrow and just a pinch of salt, it just explodes in your mouth.
Fantastic.
It's
Let's take a look at
fantastic.
the next image here, and this is.
The Brussels sprouts, and I believe they're prepared 2 ways, and you
Yeah,
know,
this is one of our, one of the specials that we always have is a vegan special. And this is a vegan special that anybody can eat and leave totally satisfied. I hope we bring that back, because, you know, we do specials every week, and I try to say, we need to bring that one back for sure. And those are roasted with a little bit of edible flowers right on top.
We have one more shot here we want to share with you, and this is some kind of ravioli.
that looks
Pappardelle pasta.
Yeah, actually, it's house-made pasta. It's not a ravioli, but I mean, if you've never had house-made pasta, there's just really nothing like it. You know, you can't just go back to having, you know, a pack of noodles. You know,
Yep, you roll it out. It takes like 3 days
Yep.
to make.
And you know, with all the local ingredients in it, that just adds to all the flavor of it. And you don't have to do too much. And that there was the it was the orange with beer, you know, with that broth, and you don't have to do too much to it because the flavor is just so present there. And I know the option is there to add duck to it, but we just took it as it was, and it's just absolutely fantastic.
Now, you don't come from a restaurant background.
I do not.
You did not grow up in this business. In
I
fact, you
did
started
not.
this as a store.
That's true. Yes. So my background is actually in nonprofit, and I did open up the store about 9 years ago with my mom that sits in the front. It's called La Parada. And that's been such an adventure with my mom, and you know, my father is the landowner, so it just felt natural to come back and really strengthen what we have there and kind of take the next step. But my background is in nonprofit and in development and connections and networking and collaboration. So honestly, I don't think I could have been set up any better for this type of restaurant, because there's so many entities and there's so many, whether it's a farmer or a nonprofit or you know, a big collaborative. I'm working with so many entities. It's like, you know, bringing all of these people together on a regular basis. I think it kind of takes that mind of, you know, connecting people.
And I just think this is such an amazing thing. You have like 3 businesses you run now. What has been maybe your biggest obstacle in creating this farm to table philosophy?
Honestly, it's been New Mexico weather.
Really?
And our farmer, our in-resident farmer, Rick Murphy, he oversees the farm, and he actually has a CSA. It's community supported agriculture, so people can actually buy in and come each week and pick up their box of produce. And so he's doing that as well as providing the restaurant with food. So we do have to deal with the weather.
New Mexico
Cherie,
weather.
it is wonderful to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to seeing you again. Justin, thanks for bringing her along.
Absolutely.
You bet. That's our Check Your Local IQ segment today with Cherie Austin, the owner of Farm and Table Restaurant, along with Justin De La Rosa. I'm Larry Aarons with Aaron Muffaletto. We'll be back in a moment on The Morning Brew.